Hey, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the Solo token. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. If you haven't seen the previous update, make sure to watch that before watching this one. It's going to be in the top right-hand corner of the video. And before we get into the TA, I do want to mention the two donation links in the description as well. If you want to support Ukraine financially, then that is the best way to do so using the two links down below. There are official links to support the Ukrainian military and the Ukrainian refugees who are seeking asylum across the world right now. So yeah, feel free to support. It doesn't have to be a large amount of money, $2 to $5. Anything is going to help, and all of that is going to add up at the end of the day. So feel free to use the links. Now let's jump into the video. So we are on the weekly chart of the Sologenic token. This is TradingView. The chart is from Gate.io. We do have a Fibonacci retracement with the swing low February 14th and the swing high over here February 7th. So we did get almost all the way up to the 1.618 here at 81 cents. But not quite. As you can see, we had this big green candle. So we, let's just see. So in a week, we made 70% gains, which is not bad. It is not bad at all. Right now, if you are looking for support, if we are going to get, let's say, a pullback, if we're going to get a flash crash or any sort of FUD dropped into the markets and Bitcoin is going to come back down, let's say to $38,000, maybe a bit less than that, I would see the Sologenic token come all the way down here to 50 cents, which is the 786 Fibonacci retracement here. Or you could see a back test of the golden ratio here at 45 cents over here, which is the 0.618 Fibonacci golden ratio. Okay, so those are the two important levels that you want to hold. Even if you have a back test of support, you're still going to be bullish. We don't want to lose the golden ratio, though. If you start losing that, you are potentially going to be looking for some more targets to the downside, and that is not what we want. So right now we are above the first fib level over here, which is at 56.5 cents. Currently we're sitting at 57, almost 58 cents. And once we are above the first fib level, we are targeting the 1.618 as our technical target, because most of the times as you break through the first fib level, you are going to be looking at the 1.618, and you do tend to get there most of the times. Now, the RSI, no data available right now because it hasn't been out that long on Gate.io. So we're going to switch over to the daily chart. Okay, switching over to the daily chart. So straight off the bat, you can see that we do have a bullish pattern at play. So we do have a bull pennant over here. So basically, once you have a strong move to the upside, and then you come back down a little and you start going sideways, creating this little symmetrical triangle over here, this is actually called a bull pennant once it is after a strong impulsive move like this. And you tend to break to the upside. Obviously, you could break to the downside. There are no 100% guarantees. If you were to come back all the way down to the 20 EMA for a quick back test of support, that would be bullish, but then you would invalidate this pattern. Now, the 20 EMA is currently sitting at 51.212 cents, and you can look for some support over there. The 55 EMA is slightly below that, and that is currently sitting at 45.5 cents. So those are two support areas you want to hold. And the 55 EMA is actually where the golden ratio is at the moment. So that could provide a strong support level over here. If we lose the 20, come back down to this area over here, and from there we start moving to the upside. But that is only in the case if we start losing this. Also, always keep an eye on this 786 over here, sitting at 50 cents. Never have the buy orders exactly at the same levels. Just have the buy orders slightly above so that there's more chances of you actually filling your orders, okay? Now, you have those couple of support levels in here. Now, let's get the target out of this bull pennant over here. So basically what you do is you take a trend line, place it from where the move started over here. You can actually do it a bit you can actually place the trend line on the first candle over here. You can stretch it all the way down to where the move actually started. That's what I like to do, and that's how it's properly done. And you take that and you place it at the point of breakout. So that will give us the target over here at the second fib level at $1.03. Now, this doesn't mean that we're going to get there in a day, obviously, and this doesn't mean that we're going to get there at all, but this is the target that you can start targeting or looking for once you break out of this pennant over here. So you need to break out to the upside first, break through the 1.272 because that is a strong resistance, and from there you're actually looking for the 1.618 and the second fib level as a target from the pennant over here. But that's really bullish right now. As you can see, we're a bit overextended from the 20 EMA, so actually I wouldn't mind a back test of support of the 20 over here. We don't want a large gap in between the EMAs either, so you want the EMAs to come back closer. We did get a bullish cross here April 7th. So things are looking good for the Solo token. Hopefully we can get more listings down the line, and we are hoping for a Binance listing, because at the end of the day, a Binance listing does give the project a lot of strength, and the projects do pump when they get listed on Binance, obviously. So let's jump into the daily RSI over here. Now ignore the drawings over here, ignore the trend lines. They are for the 4-hourly chart. Right now, let's focus over here on the daily. So we have just recovered from the overbought zone over here. We were above the index of 70, so that was a good time to start taking some profits. And now we're starting to roll over to the downside over here. And hopefully we can manage to come back somewhere to the levels of the 60 index on the RSI. And from there, we can start recovering, because the lower you go, the more upside you're going to have. And if you keep staying in these overbought areas over here around the index of 70, you're going to pull back at some point and have that strong, massive correction to the downside. So that's something to look out for. Now let's jump into the 4-hourly chart. Okay, switching over to the 4-hourly chart. As you can see, the price action candles aren't as big as they normally are on some other projects, because there isn't a lot of volume on the Sologenic crypto. Not a lot of people are trading it. It does have 114 million market cap, so it isn't that big of a project yet, but it is what it is. So that's why the candles aren't as big, because there's not a lot of price movement. So what I could potentially look for is a bounce off of the 55 EMA on the 4-hourly chart, just like we had over here. So potentially look for a backtest of support at 56.202 cents. That is exactly where the 55 EMA is, and that is exactly where the first fib level is of this fib retracement that we have. So they do align over here. And we have been hugging this 4-hourly 20 EMA on the chart over here for a couple of days right now, and that is good. We're not losing it as support. We want the 55 EMA to catch up, and then we can perhaps start breaking out of this pennant. Now let's jump into the daily RSI over here and see what's going on over here. So this is where the trend lines come into play. So the first trend line over here below this support trend line, I did give you in the last video, and as you can see, we had one bounce over here March 14th. 2 bounces at the end of March, and we just had a bounce here April 12th. I did give you this trend line before that bounce, and I told you once you see the RSI move down to this trend line, that is your potentially good entry point. And as you can see from there, we had a strong move to the upside. So hopefully you took advantage of that. Hopefully you had this on your charts. It did actually fake out below just a little bit, but it did recover pretty quickly. And the trend line above us, the resistance trend line over here, is showing us a strong resistance level that we've been hitting for throughout April over here. So we have 1 touch, 2, 3, 4 touches. So you are going to potentially be bouncing up and down over here until you start breaking out. And I think once you break out, that is exactly when you're going to start breaking out on the bull pennant, on the price action. So I do think these things will be correlated. And once you see a breakout from the pennant, you will see a breakout from this symmetrical pattern over here, symmetrical triangle type of pattern. But yeah, so that's something to look out for. And if we are going to break out, I wouldn't necessarily sell immediately. I would wait just a bit, because once you break these horizontals, you tend to move quite parabolically, and you can end up in the overbought zone in a couple of days, and that's when you can potentially take some profits. But I'm not a financial advisor. Do what you deem is best for you. But that is pretty much it. If I missed out anything on the charts, let me know down below in the comment section. Feel free to follow me on Patreon. I try to do daily updates over there. We have TA requests, video requests, low cap gem calls. buy and sell alerts, project reviews, market sentiment analysis, and a whole bunch of stuff over there. So feel free to check it out. It's a great way to support me and a great way for you to get more exclusive content. And also don't forget about the donation links below. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to catch you in the next one. Goodbye and good night.